I'm just going to say it like this, brothers and sisters. So, there are two types of targeted individuals in this world. Not every targeted individual is a saint. Not every targeted individual is a good person that, did the right things, but unfortunately, bad things happen because sometimes bad things do happen to good people for no apparent reason. But there are some targeted individuals. I believe there are two types. So the first type of targeted individuals are the ones that are on the bad side. So let's say, and I'm going to use this as an example because I actually know of somebody where I come from that just so happened to be a female, but she got hated by so many people from her hometown, from her school, from all over the entire community because she did some dirty things. She did some real dirty things to, multiple people, and people found out about it, and nobody really liked what she did. People tried to fight her at parties, and she just, she ended up being just hated by basically everybody. And she went as far as playing with a bunch of the same guys in the same friends group and turning friends against each other, and friends are fighting, and this is all over just her. So it's like she became a targeted individual for the wrong reasons. Now this is one type, and I use this as an example because it's perfect. It is a perfect example for me to use for this video because that's what some of these people are like. And I actually question some people. Oh yeah, I'm a targeted individual and all this stuff. Well, are you really? Because the second type of targeted individuals are the people that get hated on for doing good. Like I said, the other targeted individuals are the ones that have done dirty things. I've actually done a phone call with a woman off of this channel before, and she was telling me she was a targeted individual, and this guy was like trying to go to her house and trying to do this and trying to do that, and it just makes you wonder, man, like, and like her whole community was going against her, and maybe not the entire community, but like a whole bunch of people, and people hated her and all this stuff. And it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder, what did she do for this to happen? And I was even questioning her on the call. I was talking to her about this stuff. I was saying, what did you do for these people to do this? And the call just kept going back and forth, and I could tell. I could literally tell. It was this girl's fault. She was the problem. Playing victim. No surprise to me. Not a surprise at all, because when I hear things like that, it just makes you wonder right away, because she didn't have no hate story. She didn't have no, yeah, I did these things and this, and people just don't like me for no reason. And there was a reason. There was a reason as to why people hate you. But for some people really are hated for no reason because they are doing good things. They are doing the right things. You see it all the time. You see famous people getting hated on. You see people on the come up being hated on. You see the hometown guy that's popping up being hated on. You see this stuff all the time. That ain't nothing new under the sun. That's a real targeted individual for the wrong reasons. But as for these people that want to play victim and sit around and cry, oh, I'm targeted, please help me. You should have thought. You thought? You should have thought. Before you did all these bad things, and now you got people wanting you dead. And I'm not sitting here saying you deserve death. But geez. Like, what do you expect? Do you think they're going to be nice to you? Do you think all these things are going to happen? Like, of course you got a target on your back. What do you expect? Unbelievable. They're stupid, then they're stupid. Like, deal with what you've done. That's like karma coming back. Now you fear for your life. Now you fear for your life because you really did some wrong things. And you're being pushed out of the own place that you come from. So how is that? You know, and even people that are being targeted for the wrong reasons, they're not going to be pushed out of their town. No one's going to take anything that far. They just get a target on their back as far as, you know what, this person's different. This person's doing something. We're going to look at him a little bit differently. We're not going to accept him. And you know what? These types of target individuals, you will be left alone. No one's really going to do anything. Worst comes to worst, you could find yourself in a position where you're alone or something, and you go out and there's a bunch of people and you end up getting jumped or something like this just because it's some stupid situation. But that would be about it. No one's really trying to look for you. No one's really caring all that much. Although you do have a target on your back. And I do believe these types of targeted individuals are chosen by God. The other ones are not chosen by God. They are chosen by something completely different, and we know what it is already. I don't even have to say it. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And I think, you know, if you're going to pull off some stuff like that and do people wrong to that level of an extent, you rightfully so deserved, you know, to be hated as much as you do. To have that type of target on your back. You know, you cannot piss people. You piss off the wrong people, it could be the end of you. It could be the end of you, and I guarantee you, if it is not, you'll never do something like that again. Lessons learned. You know what? There's people that have done certain things to me, and I guarantee you, they will never do what they did to me to other people. There are certain girls that I've dated that have done certain things to me, and I guarantee you, they will never do that again to another guy in the way they did it to me. If they do it, it's going to be a lot lesser. It's not going to be as brutal. And it's probably going to be a little bit more sneakier to make it look like, you know, it wasn't that big of a deal. Because you know what, I was about to say they'll probably never do it again, but they probably will. But it won't be as worst, because they'll try to hide it up and cover it up as much as they possibly can, so they don't look that bad. They're still going to look bad, because you cannot do something like that. You cannot treat a human being like that and expect to not look bad, because you will. And it is in these individuals' nature to do the things they do, guy or girl. It's in your nature to be who you are. It really is. I don't think people are ever going to change who they actually are. I have it in my head, and I've had it in my head for my entire life, how I want my life to go. And I ain't never lost that sight. Never. Never. And I was always this way. I ain't never screwed over one person in my entire life. When it comes to relationships, when it comes to friendships, when it comes to family. But I have let an awful lot of things go that became toxic, that did not serve me, that did not serve me anything good at all, even remotely close. But rather things of the opposite, that was people trying to backpack off me, people trying to use me, people trying to abuse me, people hanging on to me for dear life, trying to borrow money from me and never pay me back, certain things like this. I've let lifelong cousins go that try to do this shit to me. Lifelong. And I mean since birth. About 4 or 5 years ago. Just gone. Just like that. Forever. Never again will I speak to this person. Never again. Gone. Too far gone. See ya. So, and you know, these are the same people that in their story, you're the bad person. They will play victim, but they did so many things that crossed the line towards you, and the fact that you cut them off, oh, now you're the bad person. I don't think so. When you become toxic, you have no other choice but to cut the person off, because if you don't, you will be in a world of shit. You will be in a fiery hell. And I'm telling you now, this is how it will be. And there's no getting away from it unless you cut them off. I'm the type of person that I am fair game with everybody. The last thing I would want to do is actually screw somebody over. It's just not in my nature to do it. It is just not. I cannot do that. I cannot live my life knowing I did that to somebody else. And then to be a bad person. And then to serve that karma, because I do not believe these people sleep well. The people that do this to other people, I don't believe they sleep well. I do not. I believe they have a lot of issues. I believe people that do this anyways have a lot of mental issues. A lot. Because you have to do that to another human being. Because healthy people do not do this to other people. It just does not happen. But if you catch yourself around being the healthy person that you are, if you catch yourself around certain toxic people, it can rub off on you. And you can start to pick up behaviors and traits of other people. That's why when you feel that toxicity, you just have to brush that off and cut. It's gone. See you later. And there's nothing else about it. No explanations, no nothing. And that's what I've grown to do. And I realize how much certain things even in the past held me back. Like, I was way too good to way too many people. And I had to take that role of just, cutting off so many people. Because they are trash. And it's hard for me to believe that some people that I actually used to be like this with, like just razor thin close, just like brothers. It's crazy to see what certain people have grown to be. And you tried your best to help those people, but there was no helping them because they were going to do what is in their biological nature to do, and they done it. And there was no helping them, there was no saving them. Even though I tried. There's just nothing you can do. Like for some people, they're going to do what they're going to do, and you have to go your way. And you will grow into completely different people, into polar opposite people. And that is how life goes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how life goes in general. It really does. And this is not a sad reality. This is reality. There's nothing sad about this. This is how it goes. And you might think so in the moment when certain things are happening, but you keep living your life. You keep experiencing things. You keep elevating. There's nothing sad about it. This is how it goes. People are so temporary, it is not even funny. That's just how life is. And some people you will stick with much longer than others, but everything is temporary. Every single thing. You can't get too caught up in it. You can't get too caught up in anything. The people you grow closer with, you will be in the mix with them a little bit more, but there's only a very select few amount of people that you will spend the majority of your life with. Other than that, it's going to be so many random people coming in and out and out and in and from every angle, and it is what it is. Even cousins and close relatives and childhood friends, this is just how it works. So, yeah. So before I end this video, I just want to say that, being a target individual, it's honestly a blessing. You might think it's a curse. You might think, oh, poor me. No. Poor everybody else that is all the same. Could you imagine being the same as everybody else? In these little clans, in these little tough boy groups? Could you imagine being that person? Growing into an adult, still being that person? Could you imagine that? Now that's sad. You will be a targeted individual. If you do the right things, you become a proper man, you grow, you elevate, you get your shit together real quick. You will be targeted. You will be different. That's what it is. And then the other, like I mentioned, I've already said it. It's all these clowns, it's all these bad people that they do all these dirty things and things happen to them and oh, poor them. No. You got what you damn well deserved. Now deal with it. Deal with it. And that's all there needs to be said, so you better damn deal with it. And you know what? They're not going to deal with it. They're gonna flee the scene. And I know people, guys, I've dated a girl that she did a lot of dirty things to a lot of people. And she is not around anymore. She moved. And now she's going to play her games and manipulation on somebody else. Because that is what these people do. Instead of changing themselves, they change victims. And you don't want to be the next victim. You don't want to be that person. So you gotta be aware of the red flags. You gotta be aware of some shit like that. Because you will be the next victim. You see something nice, too good to be true, and that could be the end of you pretty quick. And it happened to me. And it wasn't the end because you can't end me. I will always come back reborn. I will always come back like a phoenix out of the fire, shit and ashes, and just taking off. Can't end me. Not when you're chosen by God, because there is nothing more powerful. Peace.